Hi everyone, we're making this video to give everyone an update of this new coronavirus has changed our life, and of course you've heard a lot of things on news, and we're just gonna try to answer everyone's question in this video.
We wanted to say why, if you see us looking down, we have notes, so that's why we didn't update very often. We've been back in China now since January 8th. The virus has slowly kind of happened since right after we got back. It's like it followed us, and in the beginning we didn't want to talk too much about it just because it's not in our city. It's in our city, but it's not happening directly in our city, and it's not something that's really a huge threat to us. So we didn't want to cause any panic or just worry, I think, with our friends or our family. But after several people have reached out to us, we thought, well, we should maybe update everyone, and thought this would be the easiest way to kind of get out what's going on to everybody. So I hope that this can be helpful.
We just want to give a huge thanks to who has helped us to get some masks, because we'll talk about this later in the video, is China now is facing a huge mask shortage. Everyone needs a mask right now. Just thank you all for helping us to getting those masks.
The small amount helps a small amount of people, and so that's Will's little heart behind it. He's going to share more just about the virus, the information, and then I'll kind of share about our daily life, how that's changed a little bit. Take it over.
Coronavirus. This virus first was discovered in a city in middle of China, Wuhan. Has about 10-11 million population, which half of them doesn't actually live in Wuhan. Half of the population in the city come to Wuhan to work. There's more jobs, so people travels in the city.
Commute a lot.
Yes. A few doctors found out that there are a group of people having interesting symptoms, having fever and coughing, and their lungs seems to have some problems, and then later they're having some breathing problems. So all this doctor found out all these patients has something in common. They all went to a local seafood market. There wasn't enough evidence, so people wasn't paying attention until that it's a lot faster than people expected. So Chinese government finally decided to lock down the city of Wuhan on January 23rd. This is the third week of the lockdown of Wuhan, and you can see a lot of videos. There are Americans that making videos that they're stuck in Wuhan and stories. Here are some numbers I'd like to give you all. In the last 3 weeks, 35,000 people are affected, and 724 people exactly, they passed away because of the infection, and 2,300 people are cured. So number wise, this virus, it is very contagious, but the death rate of this virus is around 2%, which is just a little higher than the common flu. Don't panic. The reason that Chinese government and all these things happening, if I'm a person that in Wuhan and I have the virus with me, and I can bring this virus to almost every area in China within 8 hours.
One thing that was important about it being spread, they said that you can have it in your system from 2 to 14 days without experiencing any symptoms. So that means that I could have it right now, day 2, and I feel fine, and I'm taking the subway for weeks, and I'm going to work, interacting with all these people, and at that point it's also contagious. So I've just passed it to everyone on the subway that I maybe coughed near, I touched something that they touched, and so that's one of the reasons why they chose to do the lockdown.
One guy was affected through using the same elevator in his complex with the previous guy who used it,
Now our elevator, the wuye, the people who take care of the apartment buildings, have put saran wrap over buttons.
Really, wherever we go, it smells like hospital right now.
Disinfecting in the complex and basically everywhere.
Our area, 30 people are affected. It's been exactly 2 weeks after Chinese New Year. Usually the holiday is only 1 week, but till today, schools, restaurants, a lot of grocery stores, malls,
anything besides basic groceries
are closed.
We were in a store and you have to wear masks now to go inside. They take your temperature when you go in. We feel like the government is doing a lot to try to contain it, and some of the things sound a little scary, but we just wanted to assure you that we're fine. When the shutdown happened, it kind of made people feel really nervous or worry. We're not in the city that's been shut down, but there are things that are happening. We don't go out unless we need to get groceries, and if we get groceries, we go to Sam's or a local grocery store, kind of like a Walmart, but smaller. And some of the things people were worried about is if we have food, and we do. Plenty that we need.
Yeah.
There's things we would like
garlic
has been sold out for a while. Some vegetables here and there, because I think people are buying a lot. Kind of like storing up. There's a few shortages of things, but we're fine. We have all we need. And then in China, people wear masks a lot of times anyways, just to prevent sickness, because there's so many people. So that's not really a new thing, but now it's required to go out. We can't even go to my parents' complex because a lot of the newer patients is because of the Chinese New Year. They had a meal together or they were doing stuff together, and the whole family has it now. The local government all over the country decided to make people separate. If you don't have to leave your home, you don't leave your home. But that doesn't mean you can't. For us, for other cities that are more affected, like Wuhan, and around Wuhan, there's other smaller cities that are also shut down. They have different rules than we do, so we don't follow those areas' regulations. We have our own. The broadcasting thing. Yeah. I woke up and I heard this man's voice. So we'll put a clip of that here.
广德化关防措施，参照上述小区封闭式管理要求，严控外来人员进入，严密监测居家人员身体状况。三，一旦出现。
We have a few questions that people asked that we wanted to answer, and the first one is, are we worried? Are we worried?
Like the number was showing us that the death rate is as common as a flu that happens every year. We're not so worried.
In the sense of panic. We're just being aware and cautious and listening. Yeah, we're being cautious. Our storage was full, so if it's at a different angle now, it's because we had to take stuff off our SIM card and put it back, so it might look a little different. Why didn't we come back? Why didn't we go back?
Because it's not really come to a point that we need to leave.
And also, I think maybe there's some confusion about the airplane, the charter flight that came to China to evacuate. That flight was just to Wuhan. It was mainly for the embassy workers. Then some civilians, I think, could also get on if they had space.
Yeah.
About 1,000 Americans are still in Wuhan. You know, they're also staying there, and you can find some articles from them just about their life. But our life right now is here, and we feel safe about that.
We want to thank again for people who asking about us, who helped us with the masks. Big thanks to Caleb King, who found 600 masks. Yeah. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
And the ladies for helping us with the shipping costs. That is really helpful.
Yes, the plan for the mask. So I used to work with medical students. Some of them already become doctors. And because the shortage of the mask, everyone's required to wear one.
All of the pharmacies have signs that say they don't have masks.
The reason that we can't really buy masks is because the government requires all the factories directly ship the masks to the hospital to provide the doctors who are treating these patients to make sure that inside the hospital is safe. Even the factories are working all day long. Still, there is a huge shortage.
I'm trying to see the need for people that we know. Once they arrive, our plan is to divvy them up and send them to where they need to go. Thank you all for helping us with that. We'll keep you updated when we get them on how the shipping goes, and maybe we can tell you a little bit about who they went to.
Yeah. So. Thank you all again for the help and thoughts. We will hopefully give you a new update sometime soon. Bye.
Bye.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ